I didn't say she wasn't smart.
Well, there's 4 meetings tonight. Serious with you.
It is actually you. It has to do with the environment.
Sweater last night. So excited.
At this time, I'd like to call to order the Human Services Committee. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. You look great. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If the clerk would take the roll, please.
Commissioner Smasko?
Present.
Commissioner Baldwin?
Present.
Commissioner Bohm?
Here.
Commissioner Torello?
Here.
Commissioner Rushing?
Here.
Commissioner Vandenbosch?
Here.
Commissioner Beaton?
Present. Item 2, are there any additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda?
So moved.
Support? All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Motion carries. I have 2 citizens wishing to be heard this evening. The first one is Carol Miller.
I actually have copies to hand out before I read, if you don't mind. Good evening, Board. I wanted to take, and I sent you, the board members, a letter that I had sent to Liz King regarding a concern I had. And I want to read the letter because the only thing I got was a basic response and nothing else has happened. This was sent October 13th. Good morning, evening, Liz. I had hoped to speak to you in person, but I had a scheduled appointment that conflicted with the advisory board meeting change. I appreciate you taking the time to read my letter. Please feel free to read it at your advisory board meeting this week. At the last meeting, I talked about professionalism and how one advisory board member was completely out of line with the Board of Commissioner member at the Board of Commissioners meeting. I noted that 2 men stood at the back of the boardroom and made sure the board member was safe after being verbally attacked by this individual. The safety of our Board of Commissioner members is paramount. After the September 19, 2024 Board of Commissioner meeting, I was taken aback by the attitude once again of this individual who was on the St. Clair County Public Health Department Advisory Board. I corrected a speaker on the name of Dr. Nevin, as they noted Dr. Niver, who is an OBGYN, and also noted that I was glad he was staying with the county as he taught all of us so much. I went on to speak about a 3-year-old murder victim after that. Upon departing the meeting, I went to the elevator, holding the door for this advisory board member who was approaching. As soon as the doors closed, I was yelled at to the point my ears were buzzing from the loudness, and I had asked several times for this person to stop yelling at me. They did not. The person's arms were flailing at me, and I was starting to become fearful of being on the elevator with this person. The person continued yelling at me as they continued to walk out of the building in front of others who were gathered outside. I stopped at one group, so I had others around me, then I knew this person was out of my area. I then went to my car and departed. The verbal attack on myself was unwarranted. As you all know, I have stated many times, the Health Advisory Board has taught me many things, and I look forward to going to the meetings to hear the goings-ons and updates to gain more knowledge. I do, though, however, am in awe that such an individual does not show professionalism to the community members. All I did was correct a name and show that Dr. Nevin has taught us so much. That an advisory board member can treat someone as this is beyond my comprehension, especially in front of others. I look forward to coming to future meetings, but please know that when I do, I will no longer be acknowledging this individual, as I now believe that if I say anything that this person is not 110% in agreement with, I will be singled out or scolded. My First Amendment rights are just that, my rights. I now fear this individual of their fly-off-the-handle demeanor. To be kind to our fellow man, no matter race, religion, sex, creed, or disability, is how it should be. I feel that this individual does not follow the same belief. I thank you for your understanding, Carol Miller. The only thing I got back from Liz, as you can see in the email, is that, sorry.
Your time's up.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ken Hubelman.
Good evening. My name is Ken Hubelman out of Port Huron. I am also on the Board of Health as a representative for the 1st District, which is covered by Joy Torello, Lisa Beeden, and currently Georgia Baldwin. I wanted to approach today to read a letter that was provided to all members of the board, but I understand you guys receive a large number of emails, a large number of documents, and either don't or choose not to read all of them. Dear Board of Commissioners, we, the members of the St. Clair County Advisory Board of Health, felt compelled to make this written statement regarding your recent actions regarding the St. Clair County Medical Director position. As the Board of Health, we feel undermined that our expertise and our role are disregarded by the actions taken without our full knowledge. You, the St. Clair County Board of Commissioners, appointed each and every one of us to the Board of Health. You appointed us based on our backgrounds, expertise, experience, and the value that we bring to that position. You appointed us to fulfill our statutory obligation to promote and protect our community's health and provide the oversight and support to ensure the St. Clair County Health Department meets its statutory duties and responsibilities. You appointed us as a form of checks and balances to ensure the community's health is the top priority. You chose individuals with experience in paramedicine, behavioral health care, chiropractic care, nursing, teaching, local government, advocacy, and decades of lived experience as residents of St. Clair County. We are an authoritative collective, and you chose to use our expertise to help guide the St. Clair County Health Department. Yet it becomes difficult to do this consistently if the Board of Commissioners comes behind us and undoes our work. While the Board of Commissioners has the authority to make the decisions, they do so contrary to the recommendations of the Board of Health. You additionally appointed Liz King to lead the County Health Department and to make staffing decisions. You appointed the Board of Health to oversee the decisions made by Mrs. King, yet you minimized our role in the process and deliberately handcuffed our ability to fill our statutory role of advising the county health department. We wish to conclude this letter with a quote by author and entrepreneur Bo Bennett. Micromanagement is a lack of faith in your own ability to hire the right people. The actions taken by the Board of Commissioners display your insecurity and the lack of trust in your own decision making. You chose each of us to help keep the people of St. Clair County safe, and we simply ask that you let us do what you asked us to do. Thank you.
There are no other citizens wishing to be heard this evening. Are there any updates from commissioners? Hearing none. Any conceptual initiatives tonight? No. No old business. Moving on to new business. Item 7A, the St. Clair County Library System Thomson Reuters Westlaw subscription.
Make motion to send to full board.
Support. Baldwin. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, St. Clair County Library System Board of Trustees bylaw revisions. Make a motion to send to full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 8, other human services matters. We have a 2024 Veteran of the Year proclamation for David Norris.
Make a motion.
Support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 9, for information only, the Health Department points of interest for October.
Make a motion.
Support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, receive and file packets.
Make motion to receive and file.
Support. Baldwin. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, adjournment. So moved. Baldwin.
Support.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion, meeting adjourned.
Calling the St. Clair County Judiciary and Public Safety Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Samasco?
Present.
Commissioner Baldwin?
Here.
Commissioner Beeden?
Present.
Commissioner Bohm?
Here.
Commissioner Torello?
Here.
Commissioner Rushing?
Here.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch?
Here. Can I get a motion for the agenda?
So moved.
Support.
Any questions, concerns on the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Right now, I have no citizens to be heard on judiciary or public safety. No. Moving on to updates. We have no updates, no conceptual initiatives, no old business. And moving on to number 7A, Emergency Management Performance Grant.
Move to send to full board.
Support. Baldwin.
Any questions on it? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving on to Central Dispatch Authority Board appointments.
Motion.
Support.
Any questions on this one? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving on to the Edward Bryan Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program application.
Make a motion to send that to full board. Support.
Any questions on this one? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Michigan Mental Health Court Grant Program Huron House Subcontract amended.
Make a motion to send to full board. Baldwin. Support.
Any questions?
How is this in comparison to last year?
Unfortunately, my computer's frozen right now, so I can't see the attachment.
So
Try to get that, because I got pretty much the same question on all of these in comparison to last year.
it does say in the packet that it's an increase of about $5,000 because of the increased number of drug tests being performed. If that helps.
Okay. Only time we're gonna, because it's gonna be a tight year that we're gonna have to look at, I believe, at a lot of budgetary items, and I want to look at all the dollars. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Mental Health Court, Grant Program, Blue Water, DRP LLC, subcontract amended.
Make a motion to send to full board?
Support.
Any questions on that one?
Same thing. Would you know?
It's about $12,500, a little more than that, but it's an increase over last year, again, because of the number of drug tests being performed.
And there are sufficient funds in the grant to pay for these services, so they shouldn't hit our budget at all.
A lot of things I know the answer to before I ask, but I want to, so we need to talk about things so the public gets to hear what we're doing business rather than just
Sure.
fast forward it to full.
Well, the staff who puts together that cover sheet has a lot of that information very summarized. It's good.
Right there on the cover sheet.
It's right there on the cover sheet, Steve.
All right, any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving on to the maintenance agreement for Power Technologies, or Techniques, Inc., Galaxy US, VS, UPS, and Master Control on the Intervention Center.
Move to send that to full board.
Support.
Any questions on that one? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Inmate Medical and Mental Health Services Agreement, 6th Addendum, Yes Care.
Motion.
Support. Baldwin.
Any questions on that one?
Would you know the increase on that, please? If not, we'll find it. Just-
According to the cover sheet, it's to extend the agreement for 2 more years. Sheriff King is here if you'd like to have him come talk about it.
Status quo, it's only a 2-month extension.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to be working on a full-time, regular recontractors. So there's no increase in cost, it's just a 2-month extension.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Inmate or jail intake area office build-out.
Make a motion to send that to full board.
Support. Baldwin.
Any questions on that one?
ARPA funds will be used for this, according to the cover sheet.
Any other questions or concerns or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Your public guardian service contract with St. Clair County Mental Health.
Move to send it full board.
Support.
Any questions on that one? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving on to 2025 Michigan Drug Court Grant Program Agreement.
Make a motion to send to full board.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Michigan Mental Health Court Grant Program Agreement.
Make a motion to send to full board. Support.
Any questions on this one? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Memo of Understanding for Blue Water Day Reporting, Michigan Drug Court.
Make a motion to send to full board.
Support.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving on to Memo of Understanding between St. Clair County Community Mental Health and the Recovery Court.
Motion to send to full board?
Support.
Any questions?
I guess, Carrie, would you know the history of this? Because this is right at where I'm at. Sacred Heart out there. They're in Macomb County, correct? Just outside of Memphis.
Yes, Sacred Heart is in Macomb County.
We've been doing it, what, 30 years?
No, the recovery court began, I believe, 2018, 2019.
Okay.
So these programs are part of the recovery court program.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
If I could,
Yes.
not opposed, but just another comment. The reason I said 30 years, because my younger brother passed from an overdose, and that was about 30 years ago when he was out there. Anyways, go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving on to letter of agreement. Oh, wait a minute, we just did that one. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Letter of agreement with Sacred Heart Rehabilitation Center for residential substance treatment program services for inmates. Oh, I thought we did the one before that one, community mental health.
Yeah, we did community mental health. Now we're on Sacred
Yeah,
Heart.
now we're on Sacred
I'm
Heart.
sorry. Okay.
N. You're on item N.
Any questions on that?
We need a motion.
Oh, yeah, motion?
Motion.
Support.
Any questions on it? Hearing, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Letter of agreement with Region 10 prepaid inpatient health plan for residential substance abuse treatment program services for inmates.
Motion to send to full board?
Second.
Questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Michigan Indigent Defense Commission grant application agreement.
Make a motion to send that to full board. Support.
Questions on this one? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any other judiciary or public safety matters? Can I get a motion to receive and file packets?
So moved. Baldwin?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, I'd like to call the St. Clair County Board of Commissioners Environmental Public Works Committee meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Samasco?
Present.
Commissioner Baldwin?
Present.
Commissioner Beeden?
Present.
Commissioner Bohm?
Here.
Commissioner Rushing?
Here.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch?
Here.
Commissioner Trello?
Here. Item 2, additions, deletions, and changes to the agenda. We have, thank you.
I'd make the motion to remove the Resolution 2413 adopting a brownfield plan.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I do have a few citizens wishing to be heard this evening. Sandra Tenahill from Wales for renewable energy.
Hi, my name is Sandra Tannehill, Planning Commissioner for Wales Township. As Portside Solar are popping their bottles of champagne, Fort Gratiot residents have the burden to overturn a misguided board decision made last night with a timely recall or legal action. There is a reason their settlement was still on the table and not apply to MPSC, because we will win. This township is only one of 4 in the dilemma with this same company. This isn't just 900 to 1,200 acres in Fort Gratiot, but in conclusion could be over 4,000 acres extended through 4 neighboring townships, including Clyde, Birchville, and Grant for just one project. The language in PA 233 order, not law, states if the project includes multiple neighboring municipalities, it's considered as one. If one says no, their creels aren't the same, or they have no workable ordinances, they can still go to MPSC, including Portside Solar with this project. That order is being challenged by townships all across the state, including our own. There's a list of things Fort Gratiot did wrong, and for all the wrong reasons, but we can't change the past. We can only fix the future. Fort Gratiot's decision was based on misinformation, a rushed result, and not enough experience guidance. I predict this will be the case in other townships in this county, as every single township is being bombarded by this industry. Under St. Clair County's master plan, guidelines, substantial, can't even say it, and resiliency, it states, St. Clair County will protect and preserve natural resources and sensitive environments by creating a cleaner environment, promoting sustainability, and instituting smart growth to preserve farmland by directing growth to areas with existing infrastructure. I could quote many areas of the master plan that would oppose this industry on AG land in rural areas, but I'm sure you're all well aware of these projects not fitting into this area's future agenda. This state overreach leaves the burden on our township's officials to fight for St. Clair County and the state. This shouldn't be our burden alone. I'm usually against state and county getting involved in local affairs, but the state has backed us in a corner and pounced on us, for forcing local officials with making decisions against our morals, our ordinances, our zoning, our residents' wants, and our community's needs. Our future is no longer our control according to the state. The residents feel different. The township officials feel different. We aren't done fighting. We will not stop until we win. We are asking our county's government for help. I'm asking you to not look, but find legal avenues this county government can take to not lessen our burden, but support your constituents, not later, but now. If you go to your general practitioner with a chronic illness or diagnosis, and it's turning terminal,
I gotta cut you off, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Libby Prill. Sorry, Libby Prill.
Good evening. The Fort Gratiot Township Board voted to uphold the consent agreement that they made with Ranger Power Portside Solar, as Sandy was explaining. This project involves almost 4,000 acres of property across Birchville, Clyde, Fort Gratiot, and Grant Townships. We also have issues down in China and East China Township now with data centers and battery storage. And as these facilities populate more and more of our land, it's also going to bring more wind and solar. I fear that our county will be a sea of steel, glass, blacktop, bringing in more noise, more pollutants, and congestion that will eradicate the small town and rural culture of our communities. These industries provide few jobs in relation to the amount of green space that we're sacrificing. While there may be tax revenue that benefits local, county, and school entities, the peace, health, and property values of citizens will be sacrificed while a few people and large corporations get rich. While siting and permitting are the purview of local municipalities, some of these facilities impact on bordering communities or cross communities. And the overreach of PA 233 complicates this issue. And basically, it's really removing local autonomy and self-determining how we want to live. We've had issues with, Christy Jones and Dan Casey of the EDA have made the rounds to different municipalities, making statements about how, data centers want to site, in China Township and in Marine City, and that this is coming. And then we have some of these data center people coming in saying, oh, this is great, we're gonna bring more wind and solar for you. Well, it's exactly what we don't want. So there was an issue down in China Township where there was talk of putting a data center near a church and a school. That issue was dropped. At first we thought maybe we had managed to chase them off, but apparently DTE and the EDA have managed to secure a top 5 company like Amazon or Meta. And what they're looking to do is make our Blue Water Energy Center like an energy hub. Now they're talking about putting in a battery storage facility on DT property, and that's right on the edge of the St. Clair River. You know, and you have to look at what happens when you mix, you know, lithium with water in the event of an industrial accident. And it does happen. We can't say that it won't ever happen. So we need a county plan. We need something beyond that, the master plan, like a committee, something to specifically address the impact of wind, solar, data, and battery, and what limitations that we are going to set for this county. I'm going to email you something. It's called the Solar Impacts on Wildlife and Ecosystems.
Okay, I'm going to have to cut you off, Libby.
Okay, I'm going to email that to you. It has 5 pages of environmental
All right,
negatives
thank you.
for citing those. Thank you.
Thank you. Dawn Falk.
I'm just going to say something real quick here. You guys were going to vote on the that brownfield plan tonight. I just wrote a little bit. I watched the meeting from the 25th of July, and I just wrote a few words here about that. Lame duck sessions can be a very dangerous time here in Michigan and all over, it appears, anymore. On July 25th, during a very brief hearing on the Algonac Brownfield project, it was agreed upon by all the commissioners that this project needed to be tabled at that time. Residents of Algonac had very, very limited information about the placement of the 52 housing units in this brownfield project. Some citizens stated that they had only learned of the development 2 days prior. Questions about if this project had even been discussed by the Planning Commission, it had not. I checked the minutes today. It's not there. The last minutes were back in January. They had concerns about the 24-year tax abatement requested by Corcat LLC, concerns about dipping into the millages, which included millages voted on by the citizens for veterans, seniors, and the school sinking fund, just to name a few of the millages affected. A lot of questions that need answers. Commissioner Samasco suggested that parameters or policies needed to be written for the protection, not just for Algonac, but for the entire county. And also the need for townhalls to educate the citizens of the implications of these brownfield developments. I certainly hope that this issue is not voted on tonight. Of course, we know it's not going to be. It would be extremely bad optics for any commissioners who would vote for this project at this time without any additional information. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just so you know, Don, we did remove that from our agenda. Okay.
Linda Schweithofer.
Linda Schweinhofer. I'm the current supervisor of China Township. I'm so happy to be back, but I also find that we're going to have a lot of things dumped into my lap. It's been busy in China Township, and not necessarily in a good way. I'm looking to the County Board of Commissioners to really look long and hard at perhaps a resolution or a committee, even some type of an ordinance that would show that you too are intent on regulating data centers, because we are being inundated with it. We've had Dan Casey come. He has approached our planning commission. We've had town hall meetings. We had a big meeting on the first data center that was coming, as Libby spoke about. And that one, thank God, kind of went by the wayside. Then we thought, yep, maybe they were gone. But it was DTE that felt that they didn't want to partner with them because I think maybe they were too small. So along comes one of these big guys, and you know, I don't want to hear about, well, you know, they're coming anyway, so you know, what are you going to do about it? We're not going to lay down and play dead. We want to keep our community rural. We want to keep it our culture that we have. The people have spoken resoundingly, and part of my responsibility is to protect what we have. And I would want the county commissioners to partner with us and show that you're just as interested in doing that. We know that we're going to have some sort of growth. I'm not opposed to that, but some of these things are the types of things that are gonna come in. They can be pollutants, they can be noise pollutants, just some things that we don't know that much about. And I think they come into our little rural communities thinking, you know, we got a bunch of country bumpkins there and we could just push them around and get anything we want. That isn't going to be the case. So I would ask that you would enjoin you as county commissioners to help join in this effort. And that's what I came to ask you. Thank you.
Thank you. Robert Felix? Oh, thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Robert Felix, St. Clair County Commissioner-elect for the 5th District. Last night, I was witness to a failure of 2 units of government to do right by their citizens. First was the state of Michigan passing Act 233 last fall. This act that goes into effect November 29th essentially takes control of renewable energy siting away from local governments. And the second failure was the Fort Gratiot Board of Trustees giving into the demands of Ranger Power and what could have been mistaken to be blackmail by signing and upholding a consent agreement which I believe will usher in a dark chapter in St. Clair County's history. This will be playing out in many townships and is already happening in some. The issue is noise and visual appearances, as well as other issues with potential contamination, safety, disposal problems, and lack of food growing space. I want to make something clear to this board and the audience. I am not against new technology and the successful incorporation of those technologies into communities, but the communities must first suffer no harm. The noise currently emitted from the solar farm inverters should be enough alone to stop this technology in its tracks until the noise problem is resolved. I visited a facility similar to what Ranger Power is proposing in Fort Gratiot. This facility was in Shiawassee County and was commissioned in 2022. The inverters that step the solar cell voltage up to grid levels emit an irritating whine all day, even on cloudy days, every day. Standing in front of a home across from the solar farm, I couldn't have carried on a normal conversation. Residents living near those solar farms will never be able to sit on their porch and listen to the birds sing again. Think about that. For some that are profiting from this advancement, there is an opportunity to get rich from the solar industry, forsaking all the individuals that will be most affected by their decisions. Last night, the Fort Gratiot Board was handed a petition with over 700 signatures from people that do not agree with their decision and do not want the solar farm. Now that the solar issue has been punted by the Fort Gratiot Township Board, I'm asking the County Board of Commissioners to continue to work for the residents of St. Clair County. Let's look for ways to address and help the residents of Fort Gratiot Township and other communities to remove this threat to their quality of life. I look forward to the discussion. I have an actual recording of the power inverter sound captured in front of a home adjacent to the solar farm.
You got 4 seconds, Bob.
Just a little bit of this will be plenty. All day. Don't tell me what we can't do. Let's talk about what we can do. Thank you.
Joe Green?
I'm here to talk about the Brownsfield plan. I do know it was removed. On the Brownsfield plan, I hope that the county commissioners can set up some types of checks and balances on what can be done before they get into the home building business, and also what area in the county that they should build in. I know Algonac wants this in their area, but is there really a home shortage in it, or is it just a developer's pet project? And that's all I have to say.
Margaret Allen.
Hi, my name is Margaret Allen. I live in Fort Gratiot. I witnessed what happened last night. It was heartbreaking, and I'm here to ask you, as commissioners, to investigate to see what we can do to stall or help take care of the health of our community and keep our area rural. Thank you.
Mike Hilferink.
First, just want to congratulate Mr. Van Bosch's their wife on her decisive victory yesterday. After everything the city's been through, 2 different investigations, 2 city commissioners put on trial by their own boards, 5 city commissioners in 2 years, I can understand that they want to vote for some continuity, some status quo, so I understand that completely. What I don't understand is why this brownfield issue keeps being put on the agenda. I have some ideas. I don't understand it. I don't understand why Mr. Bones keeps pushing these things down everybody's throat. I don't understand why people come to this podium crying that they just want their city and their homes to remain the way it was when they were growing up. And yet, people like Jeff Bone, people like Dan Casey, I don't know, Mr. Van Bosch, which team are you on? People are a little bit confused these days. When it was at the hotel deal, these brownfields were a bad deal for the community. Now, you're on this board, and it seems to be a good deal. I don't quite understand how that flips. You know, but that's what politicians do, I guess. And that's the game that I don't play. I don't flip. I stay with my values. I stay with my principles. And sometimes that doesn't work in politics. And that's okay with me, because I get more opportunities to do things like this, inform people about what the hell is really going on. And that's really what needs to happen. People need to be more informed, and that's up to you guys. All these behind the door deals, things coming in that people don't know about, finding out about 2 days earlier. These deals that I'm hearing about today, people are coming and crying, talking about blackmail and consent deals done. Like all of this shady behind the doors business stuff in government needs to stop. There is too many avenues for communication now. All of you people that have been up here for a lot of years that are used to being able to get away with this stuff, there's too many avenues for people to communicate. And you're seeing that on the national stage, where our media is trying to lie to us about everything. And people are done listening to the lies. People are done sitting back and just saying, oh, there's not much we can do about it, our government never listens to us. Because we're talking to each other. We're figuring out these deals. We're investigating these things. Changes are actually starting to happen. The data center in China Township is a prime example. It's sad to hear another one's popping up, of course. That's the way it goes. But these deals, these people that make these deals, they come in, they lie. The data center, they said they would these aren't Bitcoin machines, because those have a bad reputation. These are just data mining machines, even though they use the same exact processors from NVIDIA that the Bitcoin machines use. The lies from our government leaders, the lies from the companies that get in front of you guys and want to sell the people that you represent things that affect their lives, things that you guys think is great, but the majority of the people over here do not.
I'm gonna have to cut you out.
Please, start listening.
Angie Dufresne.
Hi, my name is Angie Dufresne. I'm a Fort Gratiot resident. I created a group about a year ago to get the word out about the solar field. I'm within 300 feet, so I got a notice 10 days before the first hearing. Our planning commission turned it down. I'm not really sure what's going on with our board. They sit there and say that I don't want this is the worst thing we could do, but then they vote for it. Like, I'm not understanding why they would vote for it after saying that they don't want this and they don't want to do this. You know, I kind of feel like there's something there. Blackmail? I don't know, but something weird is going on. Nobody in the community wants this. I'm not sure why the EDA thinks they get to make the decisions for 160,000 residents in our county. The EDA knew about solar fields coming to our county in 2018. Nobody in my area heard about this. So since last night's meeting, I've spent over 10 hours on the phone with neighbors crying to me. What can we do? What do we do? You know? I don't think anybody understands how much this is impacting our community. The board says it's not the residents against the board, but with their decision last night, that's exactly where it's gonna go. Because you can't do this to people. We have a right to enjoy our property. The minute that my neighbor is infringing on that right, they no longer have the right to do what they're doing with their property. These solar fields, that's what it's about. You are damaging other people. You can't do that. That is a right that we all have. I really do not understand why our acting county commissioner is not there for us. We needed you to advocate against this, and you have been mum for the last year over this. Everybody looked for you last night, and you weren't there. Thank you to the county commissioners who did show up, because at least we feel like somebody at the county level cares. And I am just begging you to please do something to help Fort Gratiot and Clyde residents. This is destroying a lot of people. Thank you.
I'm not sure about your last name. Maureen Bory? Oh, my God.
I'm Maureen Bory. I'm a Clay Township trustee. Is it okay if I hand something out to the board? Real quick. I don't have enough for everybody, so you can share. This is about the Brownfield project.
Clay Township trustee?
Clay Township trustee, yes. So Algonac is our bordering community, and I'm here about the Brownfield project. Something that I want the board to know. We have a wastewater treatment plant that the county ran, and DPW. And this is a paper from them saying, we feel it's, well, first let me explain what happened. The county broke their contract with these Clay, Ira, and Algonac to run their wastewater treatment plant because of the liability concerns that they have. So now they put the people who would not fix the problem in charge, which are the people of, you know, the supervisors and so forth of Clay, Algonac, and Ira. This is a letter from them telling the residents that there should be no new developments. And Algonac is the biggest violator of what's going on out there. They say, we feel it's imperative that we communicate to you the urgency of addressing the infiltration problem. The plant is well maintained, but it cannot continue to process the excess amount of flow it receives. With 52 new homes in Algonac, and this dates back to 2020, and the other new connects that we had, nothing has been done to correct this problem. And now, the biggest violator, Algonac, is asking to add 52 new homes to an already overcapacitated plant. So I want you to know that until this issue is resolved, no new developments can be connected to the sanitary system. That's what they're saying. So if anybody wants this information, they can contact me, Maureen Bory, I'm a Clay Township trustee, and my email is on our website, Clay Township.
Dan Turk?
Good afternoon, County Commissioners. I'm Dan Turk, China Township Board Trustee, and want to mirror a little bit with my newly elected Supervisor Linda Schweihofer had to say. A couple things. First off, data centers. We had a risk of a data center coming into our township, and after I did some of my homework, I realized how dangerous this actually can be. And it's time for the county to possibly tap the brakes on data centers. A lot of people are sending me Facebook posts of news articles, and they all led me to a area called Granbury, Texas. So one morning I picked my phone up and wanted to call down to Granbury, Texas and talk to the city manager and find truth or fiction to some of these stories. So as I called there, they informed me that their data centers were actually on the outskirts of Granbury, an area called Wolf Hollow. And the nice lady that I talked to suggested I call the county offices of Hood County, Texas. So I did call to the county offices. They directed me to two individual people. One of them was Sheriff Corporal John Shirley, who I spoke to on the phone, and he was telling me that, and I posted to my Facebook page, of decibel readings of 85 to 90 decibels at 300 feet away. I mean, that's like a jet engine. He said the big problem was the inaudible noise. And because people listen to different wavelengths than whales or dogs or cats, however, the inaudible noise was causing health issues. The best way he could describe it is like having a sliver in your hand. Either your body's going to work with it or try to work it out. And these inaudible waves that were coming from these data centers were substantial. And it just wasn't for 5 or 10 people. There were hundreds of people that were getting ill with side effects of thickening of eardrums, high blood pressure issues, feeling like they were in an airplane with pressure on their ears. So eventually I talked to one of the county commissioners by the name of Nanette Samuelson, and we spoke for 45 minutes. And she backed up the same story, and it's an issue. The problem, how they got into the situation they had, was they didn't have any protection. Most of their ordinance or laws were just circled around garage bands. So the health risks are true, they're real. It came from credible people just like you that sit on county boards, and eventually their health department came involved, and they deemed that the data centers were the problem, and they adopted a resolution banning data centers in Hood County. And I have that resolution, and I would like to share it with each and every one of you. Now, you take a look what happened with Brownfield. I mean, we're running when we should be walking. Brownfield, data centers, and Portside Solar. What does it have in common? The EDA, Dan Casey, and Mr. Bowman.
Now I have Sandra Richardson.
Good evening, Board. I come here tonight from Fort Gratiot Township. I am one of the residents directly affected by this solar project. This solar project that was passed last night will be in front of my home, next to my home, and behind me will be this project. I live on 50 acres that my husband and I bought a little over 30 years ago to raise our family of 6. We've been involved in 4-H in the area, and we've put our entire life savings into our home. Now they have destroyed that for our family going forward. They've destroyed it for at least 60 families directly affected by this solar project. We have begged for Gratiot Township to stop this project. It does not fit into our area. It's not compatible with any of the residents, and it will take away it's already taken away health and wellness from the residents that have been tortured with trying to fight this project. It was disgusting last night to see this board pass this project and go above their planning commission, that every person on that planning commission turned it down. Then they went and grabbed an easy settlement from this company with a cheap attorney that didn't even take the time to look into how this affects our residents. They should have stayed with the township attorney because he was gonna look into it, but it was a cheap sellout to the township because they didn't wanna fight for their residents and spend the money to have an attorney that may have had some skin in the game. No one on that board that passed this last night has any skin in the game, and when I went to them originally and asked them, why would you do this to our beautiful community? Why would you be so anxious to want this project? And the supervisor said to me in his office over a year ago, when we got this 10-day notification that this was coming into our backyard, he said, well, you have to look at it this way, he said to my husband and I, with several other people that worked at the township in front of him. He said, you have to look at it this way. There's some long-term farmers there that are having trouble paying their bills. And I said, are you for real? You're gonna put this project in our area because there's 2 or 3 local farmers that can't pay their bills? Are you gonna pay my bills? When my husband was laid off for a short period of time, nobody paid our bills. And if we couldn't have afforded that farm, I would have had to sell it. So don't tell a resident why you're backing a project because you know a couple local farmers that can't pay their bills. This is affecting my health, it's affecting our family's health and wellness, and I do have a problem being around this type of noise. That's why my husband and I bought out where we have our property. So the noise is a sickening thing to think that you would expect anyone, and I live in a residential agricultural area. It's not an industrial area. I didn't buy down in an industrial area to have an industrial site land in my backyard.
I'm gonna have to cut you out, please.
So I would ask that the board look into this and see if they can't do something to help us residents in Fort Gratiot. Thank you.
Chris Bartow.
Thank you to the commissioners. I don't do this kind of stuff. My sister and I have done animal rescue for the past 30 years. We grew up in Warren. We moved to Georgia and were there for 30 years, gave our lives, dogs, cats, llamas, gave everything. During COVID, we moved back home to help our elderly parents. We bought a house in Birchville with 38 acres, loving it. Our father passed away 6 months later. We had to sell our house again, move our mom from St. Clair. We bought a place in in Clyde on Metcalf Road. We're 3/10 of a mile from the Portside project in Fort Gratiot. We're 5/10 of a mile from the Portside project in Clyde. There are leases across the road from us in Birchville that could possibly, I don't know what they're doing with it because there's 164 acres in the middle that aren't leased. I stay awake nightly. My sister and I haven't slept. Our mother is 88. At this point, I feel like we can't move again because I believe you have to disclose that this may be coming. And even if we did, I wouldn't do this to someone if we didn't have to disclose. I wouldn't be able to live with somebody moving into my home and going, oh, look, you live in downtown Detroit in the industrial area right now. It's insane. When we buy a house, we look around, there's horse people, there's people with goats. No one's gonna hate us because we have livestock that we've rescued. And now they want this special land use permit to put possibly 3,900 acres all around us in this area. And it's insane to me. And like everybody was saying with the, Fort Gratiot, the board, it's just, everyone feels like it's being rammed down our throats. And I'll finish with, while I was doing the petitions, I spoke to an older couple and they didn't know much about it. They were approached to try to lease their land and they said no. And I said, hey, why don't you folks come down to the meeting and see what's going on? They could barely walk. The lady didn't come, but the gentleman was shuffling down the middle of the aisle and he comes up to me and he says, listening to everybody here, he goes, why is this happening? He said, nobody wants this. Why is this happening? That's what he had to say, and I agree with that, and thank you.
Liz Masters?
Thank you and good evening, Commissioners. I'm saddened to hear what's happening in our county right now, and it's no fault of the most of you. I appreciate all the support that we've gotten. I am reaching out. There is something going on right now. There are counties that are getting involved with the appeal. We're up over 50, and there is definitely counties. Tuscola County settled just the other night on Tuesday, on election night. What we're all hearing tonight, if it doesn't tug at your heartstrings, this equates to me as we have a responsibility to our residents first. We do not have a responsibility as much towards these corporations that are coming in. These things that I'm hearing about, these are not jobs, these are not taxes. They have tax abatements. There's Bulletin 17 of 2023 on solar alone. So, like I say, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this. I won't take any more of your time, but it's just leveling out to me that we have a responsibility to our neighbors first. And there is communities that are doing their due diligence to fight. We have not given up. Even little rural townships like China and Wales, we've not given up. Please help us out. Thank you.
Vance Richardson?
I'm Vance Richardson. I live in Fort Gratiot Township. I attended the meeting last night. It was quite sad. I'm 76 years old. I lived on Cole Road for over 30 years. It's my wife that spoke. This is a cancer that's coming to your community, and it's coming fast. It's up to these little townships to fight it. They're threatened by court action if they don't accept their ways. I was at the convention center. Well, originally I was at Fort Gratiot. They were going to have a meeting on this. Actually, it was a hearing. They misprinted the original announcement to our dismay. There was over 600 people on petition against it. The Planning Commission, after listening for maybe 3 or 4 hours, 3 minutes a person, that's all you get. You live here all your life, you get 3 minutes, just like here. For hours, residents pleaded to please turn this down. The Planning Commission finally voted unanimously to turn it down. So we went to court over threat. The board made arrangements and accepted, oh, we can work this out. We will only have 45 decibels. We don't even know what that is. No one even heard it. I don't know how many of you people, I was here probably in this room 6 months ago, 8 months ago, maybe a year, pleading with you commissioners, go over to Shiawassee, see the mess, see the tragedy of that area, and listen to that noise. And imagine that outside your door when you walk out in the morning. Oh, it's going to be 45 decibels by your house. The paperwork from Portside, it's the rustling of leaves. That's all it is. It's a lie. Okay? Your home values. We have new residents moving in. Hell, we didn't know there's a solar farm going around us, surrounded by these ugly panels and the noise. They were deceived when they bought their home. There's 80 acres of woodland destroyed at the north corner on Metcalf. And guess what? I brought that to the board's attention a month ago. I said, what is going on? Portside, oh, they have a lease. It's not even in the footprint of the approved land usage. It has wetlands on it. Pull your map up, go down Metcalf Road. Here's 80 acres, beautiful woods destroyed. And yet Portside said, oh, we're environmentally friendly. They're lying. you urgently need to look into Fort Gratiot and see if there's anything we can do to stop this menace.
I need to
And
cut
it's
you
not
off.
Fort Gratiot. Yeah, I know, I only get 3 minutes. I lived here 30 years, I get 3 minutes. Look at your communities, help us out, take some action in this thing, and stop this blackmail by Ranger Power and their lies.
For me? I got another one. 1 minute. Andrea Herring. Thank you.
My name is Andrea Herring, and I am directly affected by the solar project. And at one time, it was going to be across the street and on both sides of me, and now it's going to be behind me also. There was just 80 acres of clear cut done that butts directly up to my 25 acres. Ranger Power said that they were not going to expand this project, but Ranger Power has the solar lease on this 80 acres that was just cleared. It's not part of the original application, but it is all of a sudden cleared. And when we went and talked to the people that were clearing it, they flat out told us that it was being cleared for solar panels. Now, if this project isn't supposed to expand, then why did they just clear cut another 80 acres for solar panels? The other thing I'm concerned about is our water, the contamination from the runoff. Most of us that live around this project have wells. Our water comes from these wells. Are we going to be able to drink our water? Are our pets going to be able to drink the water? Are we going to be able to shower and bathe with and cook with our water? Nobody seems to be concerned about what is going to happen to our water from the toxic chemicals that run off of these solar panels. And who is going to supply us with water? Are we going to have city water forced down our throat because this company contaminated our wells and we can no longer use our water? Someone needs to look out for us residents and not just stopping the project, but if this project comes through, someone needs to take care of all of us with our water problem because it's not going to go away. Thank you.
All right, is there anybody else want to speak tonight in regards to environmental?
If I could, I'm not going to reply to anybody that talked, but I do have a statement to make if we could. We can't take any action tonight, but serving as vice chair on the Planning Commission in Riley, this is a major concern. We have drafted 2 ordinances out there, very strong ordinances in regards to BSS, which it has to address with battery storage, various types, so it covers everything, lithium and anything that may be invented in the future. So we have very good ordinance. What I would potentially like to do is have this board consider, if not tonight, in the future, that our legal look into this to see if we can join into the thing with, just so we look at it. So I've got concerns. I'd also like our health department to see if there is actual health concerns out there documented, because if there's documentation in regards to the noise decibels and it is actually causing damage, whatever the facility is, whether it's a mega data center, windmills, solar panels, have them look at it. And if there's an actual health hazard, our health director and medical director can put a stop to it, and they're not going to be allowed in St. Clair County if there is an actual health concern. Also want to look into the potential toxic, if we can do that. And if the individual townships can't do it, I know we would in Riley, if anybody approached our planning commission, I would force the cost of a professional planner to look into every concern, because serving on the planning commission, I think I'm halfway intelligent in regards to addressing things, but I do not have the expertise of a professional planner, and I'd want the questions that I wouldn't even think of to be answered and be paid for by a developer, whatever they're coming to the township. If the business, whatever it is, if it's safe and it doesn't devalue property and you can address all the concerns for the residents that work there or live there, because everybody is one person, one resident of that community. The person that owns 1,000 acres or the person that owns 2 acres, they're all equal in their rights to what they, for themselves. So if we can't do anything tonight, I definitely want us to address this and have it on the committee for next month.
Question maybe for Gary. Everybody talked about an appeal. I got some emails on the same materials, I think. and I downloaded the Public Service Commission order from October 10, 2024, case number U-21-547. And I called the attorney that had started this email thing and spoke with him a bit. Gary, this appears to be not an appeal of a court decision so much as just an appeal of the order of the Michigan Public Service Commission. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think they're challenging overreach by the MPSC.
Okay. And then if, would the amicus brief analysis apply? Because to me, to join some type of an appeal, you could file an amicus brief with an opinion. You would have to actually join the appeal and share the cost of the appeal. If you decided to take a stand on it, could you file an amicus brief in a case like that, or is that only for courts?
No, it's up to the discretion of the court. We've done it before, but unless you have a unique point of view that's not being represented, they generally say no.
Right. I mean, what I think the attorney here is doing, from my perspective, I mean, he's good at getting legal work. This issue will be decided regardless if there's one township or 100, right? It's going to be the
Same result.
Same analysis.
It'll apply to everybody.
So to actually join an appeal, you actually join the cost of the appeal, which I'm not opposed to that, but it may make more sense to just have counsel maybe consider an amicus brief if there's some issue the county has we want to state in that issue.
I can follow up on it, find out exactly what's going on, what the legal theory is, and what all of you could do to help.
Have you seen that order, Gary? I'll send it to you if you don't have it.
I don't have it.
I'll send that to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, anybody else? Moving on for updates. We have a materials management plan.
So just a brief update for you this evening. We have been trying to fill the positions on the Materials Management Committee. There are 11 positions that are defined within the law. As of right now, we believe we have candidates that could fill 7 of them. We do still have 4 vacancies that we're going to continue to reach out. We would like to bring those forward to you, potentially at your full board meeting, along with the recommendation for materials management consultant to assist with writing the materials management plan. As part of the process, the county has to have a work plan completed, and that is due the end of this year by December 24th, and a materials management committee has to approve that plan. The consultant will write that plan. One of the kind of issues is Eagle they initially released guidance on the work plan, and then they said, don't use the guidance we issued, we're going to give you new guidance. And that new guidance did come out, and there is funding attached to the materials management planning process that would cover the cost of the consultant. However, they have not determined the process on how those funds are going to actually flow to us.
$65,000 a year for 3 years or different?
It's the $60,000 a year plus the 50 cents per capita. So what we would like to do, though, is bring the recommendation for the consultant to you at the full board meeting, along with the roster of candidates that have applied for the Materials Management Planning Committee, so we can get the process started, and then as more applicants come in, we can fill the remaining positions.
What are the 4 slots? Are they pegged to a particular person or type of person?
Yes, we need a city or village elected official. We need someone from an environmental interest group, a business that generates a managed material, and a materials recovery facility operator.
Wow, do we have any of those around? The last one's a tough one.
Yeah, the positions are very specific, which is, I think, what leads to the challenges. We have done different notices, we've sent some mailings out. We have generated some interest.
Did we do an RFP on the consultant, or do we have a standing consultant?
No, we did an RFP for the consultant. We had 7 apply. We interviewed 3 of them, and then the committee unanimously selected one.
Can you give us a short on the analysis there? Why did we pick the one we picked, or who did we pick?
Well, our recommendation is going to be HDR. All the consultants we interviewed, we felt they would be very competent at putting together the plan. What this consultant brought to the table is they actually have a strategic communications division, which brings more public education, town halls, communication. The other consultants had all the same technical experience, the engineers, but the ability to communicate that information, to go out to the different communities and explain to people what this is. We felt that's what gave them the extra edge.
You'll provide that to us at committee?
We would like to bring it to full board if you're okay with
Oh,
that. If not,
full
we
board
can
in
wait till
2 weeks.
December.
Full board.
Yes.
Okay. When could you get that out? I mean, to take a look at the
It would go out in your agenda packet, but we could do it sooner if you would like.
I'd like to see it as soon as possible. I have no problem considering it, as soon as we need to, because we're, like you say, we're already behind the 8 ball on it.
Yeah, I think most counties are kind of in our position in talking with all the different consultants we interviewed. They had indicated that some counties are waiting to bring on a consultant until the grant funds flow in, but that doesn't align with the state's due dates. But there has also been some talk at Eagle that due date may be changed or extended. That hasn't happened yet, so we're still operating under the assumption that we need to make that December deadline.
The sooner the better on that if we can.
Good. Do we, just a point of order, do we need a motion to have that added to our full agenda?
Nope, I just wanted to update you where we're at, and if you're agreeable to
We
that,
might be taking
then we'll
action
add
at the
it.
full board. So if we needed a motion, I'd make it. If not,
No motion needed.
Where on the county site can people look to see what positions are available on that board?
That would be under the departments. We have a department called Boards and Commissions. And then that lists all the different boards and commissions that individuals can serve on, and there should be a materials management one.
It was also posted on our social media, and I believe it was on our main website as well.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. Any conceptual initiative? Seeing no old business, moving to 7A, the landfill extension of lease of the Clair skid.
motion to send it to full board?
Support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B, Resolution 2429, relative to annual county at-large drain assessments.
Motion.
Support. Thank you. Any discussion?
Just a little bit. I did talk with Bob Wiley, and he said that he would be at our full board meeting if we need him.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item C, landfill extension of Tetra Tech Phase 2 air monitoring.
So moved.
Support. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D, landfill renewal of leachate pretreatment facility operating contract, Michigan Wastewater LLC.
Motion to send to full board?
Support. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item E, 2025 survey and remonumentation grant application.
Motion.
Support. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item F, landfill 2025 materials contract, Pearson Pit.
Motion. Support?
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item G, landfill 2025 materials contract, asphalt trucks.
Motion to send to the full board.
Support. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item H, landfill 2025 materials contract with Rawhorn Electric.
Motion to send to full board?
Support. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item I, landfill 2025 material contract, S.A. Torello Incorporated.
Motion to send to full board?
Support. Any discussion?
You're going to abstain?
I'm going to abstain, yes, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item J, landfill 2025 materials contract for Danny's Transport and Company.
Motion to send to full board.
Support. Baldwin. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item K, 2025 through 2029 Capital Improvement Program.
Make a motion to send that to full board.
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item L, the landfill Talaski excavating operations contract extension.
So moved.
Support. Baldwin.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item N, the resolution 2423 accepting the terms for the Michigan DNR Trust Grant, or Fund Grant.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item N, resolution 24, oh,
That-
sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't mark that one off. Item O, contract approval, meet and hunt, design runway, 0422 approach clearing phase 1 for the airport.
Motion to move to full board.
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And item P is the PFAS or PFAS testing, and that's for
P is for PFAS.
PFAS.
I asked that this be added. Bob Felix is here. He was here the last time we met, and it suggested that the board do some water testing for surface water and well water. He proposed 4 different pieces of property, 7 tests on 4 pieces of property, a couple for the ponded water, so mostly for some well water. And I did communicate, I asked to be placed on, I did communicate with Liz King and Steve Demick from the Health Department. On October 29th, they communicated with Dr. Nevin, and I provided the board with this motion I'm making. I'm going to move this written motion that we do this testing, and it lays out the sites, the compounds to be tested for, both PFAS and PFOA, and the testing method, including some other particulars. So it was, you can hand that down if you want. It's in the email that came out this morning, and I did attach a forward on the October 29th letter between Liz King and Dr. Nevin Remington Nevin. And essentially, the health department can test this. The cost is not a lot. The doctor opined that it's, in his opinion, not unreasonable to do this. They kind of avoid unnecessary testing in scientific matters because, false negatives or something of that nature. But the bottom line was he felt that it would, it kind of agreed with what I said in my email, that although it may not, there's no reason to suggest there's PFAS contamination associated with any county facility at this time, but it would provide the public with peace of mind and show good faith that, this board puts public health as a priority. So I wouldn't ask that that be moved to full board. We can look at this and look at what I sent and discuss it further now or later, but I think it's something we should look at, and I would make that motion. If there's a second, it can move to full board. Thank you.
I think we did test for 4 or 5 of the properties out there already.
We never tested for PFAS or PFOA particularly. Those are particulates that need to be tested for specifically. We did, it's on the county website, the testing we did, consistent with my December 2023 motion for some water testing. But this is for the compounds that are known to be very common from landfills, septage, and landfill operations. Nothing that I've seen suggests there's any problem with any retention on the facility, but yet this is something that he's asked for. I think that given the nature of PFAS and PFOA, I think it's important to do that. It's not a lot of money. Say, well, do you open a can of worms? Well, if it's there, there's no reason to say, let's not ask. I mean, let's just take a look. There's only 4 testing. It's under $2,500 to do that. Our health department can get involved, so that's my
I'd second it.
You have a motion and a second?
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to add on that. Same thing with these potential solar fields that, I don't know if these chemicals are going to be associated with any drainage on those. So that's another concern that maybe in the future we need to look at. That's going to be happening at some of these facilities that want to be located. I want to have that as a concern also. In regards to the safety and health of the county, that's where the county commissioners do have authority. I do not want to get involved with any of the planning or the stuff with each individual township, because I'd take offense if you guys tried to come to Riley Township and tried to run what we do locally. That's what you got the local officials for. But when they're addressing public health, which this is, we need to address it.
Hey, Steve,
Thoughts, Gary?
I had a suggestion. While this testing is done, there are monitoring wells around the landfill. Why not get those too?
Sure.
While you're at it.
Well, we have regular reports on all of that. Matt Williams is here, he can tell us. I mean, I've been keeping track of some of that. We have some numbers on all of that, and we have our studies relating to the PFAS remediation and treatment, the fractionation study, and Tetra Tech's information.
These were previously tested, I think. Matt and I discussed it for the PFAS, thinking that would be a good proactive thing to do. And if something's getting out of the landfill, that should be the first place it could be detected.
So you're not saying we shouldn't do it, or you're saying we should do it?
I'd say add those on.
Add it.
Do it all at once.
I have no objection to adding whatever Gary just said to the motion. But you're going to have to clarify, Gary, because I couldn't follow.
Yeah, I think I was mumbling. But just to add the testing, the monitoring wells that are around the landfill as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, item 8, the Smith Creek landfill activities report.
Make a motion to receive and file.
Support, Baldwin. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Other environmental public works matters? Information only, the monthly Parks and Recreation financial documents.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I get a motion to receive and file packet.
So moved.
Support. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye. I'd like to call the Ways and Means Committee to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Samasco?
Present.
Commissioner Baldwin?
Present.
Commissioner Beeden?
Present.
Commissioner Bohm?
Here.
Commissioner Trello?
Here.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch?
Here.
Commissioner Rushing?
Here. Can I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. I have one citizen to be heard, Robert Felix.
Good evening again, Commissioners. Just a brief follow-up on the solar. I put this under Ways and Means because I believe, as Dave says, this is going to affect safety of residents. I believe long-term for the county, there's going to be costs to the county. Typically, when these types of projects occurred, and I'm guilty of being an engineer and have been part of some of these companies leave insufficient funds even though they say they are going to leave funding. Counties and other entities wind up picking up that cost. That's a concern. These residents that spoke tonight, and I met many of them up at Fort Gratiot, I was at 2 of those meetings, they have a valid concern. There are some documented health concerns. There are psychological concerns from listening to that noise, and you can't escape it. You can sit inside, but then you're a prisoner in your own home. What I'm asking this board and what the residents are asking, they realize this is the state. The state created this problem. They realize the county may have limited ability to address it. I believe, and others I have talked to feel, that this Act 233 will be overturned and modified in some time frame. We need to stall. We need to avoid being the guinea pig in this and hold off a development in any legal means. And that's what I am asking, that this board look at that when I step up to this illustrious board on January 1st. I will take this task on for the residents of this county, not just Fort Gratiot. This is going to affect every rural county with sufficient acreage. And I will take that task on and lead, and I will not accept no for answers, because this is lifestyles and safety of our people. Thank you.
Okay, I have no other citizens to be heard. Do we have any updates? Seeing none. Any conceptual initiatives? We have none. We have no old business. Moving to 7A, the 2025 pension and retiree health care contribution rates.
Make motion to send the full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7B, Health Department Renovation Office Furniture Award, Kerr Albert. Have a motion.
Make a motion to send it to the full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7C, Resolution 24-25, Budget Adoption for 2025.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? I went through it, and if they have any specific questions, and I go through it pretty quick, I'm happy with it. And if I do come up with anything, we can actually ask more questions at the full board. But,
Correct.
anybody want to address the board? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Did I get a motion in a second?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm old. 7D, Commissioner Bohm, District 5, American Rescue Plan Act Project, City of St. Clair, Cox Road Sidewalk.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7E, Commissioner Bohm, District 5, American Rescue Plan Project, City of St. Clair, Library HVAC System Replacement.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7F, Commissioner Bohm, District 5, American Rescue Plan Act Project, City of St. Clair Equipment Purchases.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7G, Commissioner Bohm, District 5, American Rescue Plan Act Project, City of St. Clair Generator Purchase for Pine Shores Golf Course.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7H, Commissioner Bohm, District 5, American Rescue Plan Act Project, City of St. Clair Police Vehicle.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I had a question, though, Dave, if I could.
I'm sorry.
After we passed it, but items D through I, could those be put on a consent agenda for the regular meeting, or they were kind of bulked together? Or how do you?
Since they're ARPA funds, we're bringing everything to you separately. Certainly you could make a motion to pass, items A through, F or whatever
I
as
see when
one
you set the,
motion.
just when you set the agenda up, I wasn't sure how
Yeah.
you did that.
I
but-
mean, we could group them, or we could, I guess, make one agenda item with all
It
the
doesn't
different
take that long to
attachments.
run
It
through
doesn't,
it.
I just thought it's redundant, but thank you, I'm good.
And why was your question? You want to speed things up?
That was kind of my intention, Dave, but
Moving on to 7J, St. Clair County Sheriff's Marine Division Radio Replacement.
Make a motion to send it full board. Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Did we do aye? Did we do aye?
yes, we did.
Oh.
It was passed.
Did we?
I don't believe we
I
did.
don't think we did.
I'll do that next. Thank you.
I thought we did. Actually, confused the heck out of them.
We'll go back up to I, Commissioner Bohm, District 5, American Rescue Plan Act Project, City of St. Clair Police Pursuit Vehicle.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. We did do 7J, right?
We did.
Yes.
Okay, moving to 7K, Commissioner Torello, District 4, American Rescue Plan Act Project, Kimball Township Sewer Lift Station Backup Generator.
Make a motion to send it to full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7L, Commissioner Samasco, District 1, American Rescue Plan Act Project, Clyde Township Playscape, previously approved.
Move to full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7M, Intervention Center, RFID Project, Wi-Fi cabling and wireless access points.
Make a motion to send it to the full board. Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7N, Resolution 24-26, relative to per dimes for boards and commissions.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7-0, Resolution 24-27, waiving investment interest earned on taxes collected by local units.
Motion to send a full board, Baldwin.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7P, Resolution 24-28, adopting the 80/20 cost-sharing model.
Make a motion to send it to the full board.
Support, Baldwin.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7Q, Backup Solution Expansion, Information Technology.
Motion to send a full board, Baldwin.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7R, Redundant Computer Resources, Information Technology.
Motion to send a full board, Baldwin. Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7S, File Storage System Purchase, Information Technology.
Motion send the full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7T, Contract Approval, Hutch Paving Incorporated District Courthouse Parking Lot Expansion and Repair.
Motion to send a full board, Baldwin. Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7U, Contract Approval, and this is for final action, Cutting Edge Lawn and Snow Services, LLC, Snowplow Services.
Make motion for final action.
Support.
Any discussion? Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Samasco?
Yes.
Commissioner Baldwin?
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Commissioner Bohm?
Yes.
Commissioner Trello?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes. 7V, 2025 dental renewal. We'll just leave it dental renewal.
Are you stuttering, Dave?
It should have been Delta.
Delta Dental? This is double dental.
Did I get a second?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7W, 2025 Blue Cross Blue Shield Agreement Renewal.
Make a motion to send a full board.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7X, 2025 Medicare Advantage Agreement Renewal.
Motion send the full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7Y, Commissioner Bohm, District 5, American Rescue Plan Act Project, City of St. Clair, Snow Plow and Debris Removal Truck.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7Z, Commissioner Bohm, District 5, American Rescue Plan Act Project, City of St. Clair, Outdoor Wayfinding Sign.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7AA, Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority Insurance Renewal 2025.
Motion.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7BB, Commissioner Baldwin, District 2, American Rescue Plan Act Project, Fort Gratiot Township, Parker Road, Campground, Sanitary Pump Station, and Force Main.
Motion to send a full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 7CC, Commissioner Baldwin, District 2, American Rescue Plan Act Project, Sanborn Gratiot Memorial Home staffing costs for support services.
Motion to send a full board.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. All right. This time, do we have any other Ways and Means Matters? Seeing none, we have information only. Can I have motion to receive and file?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Have a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Baldwin. Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.